Bujuindinoi maganadok. Anin. Kagigabo indishnakas. Mekanak and dudem. Mekanak wajuing and dunjaba. Kakaba kangendanongom. And what I said there was a traditional Ojibwe protocol greeting. I said, hello all of my relatives. My name is Kakigabo. I'm Turtle Clan. I'm a descendant of Turtle Mountain. I live here in Minneapolis today. And I want to say, Apajigo Miigwech Bizendawi. Thank you so much for listening and tuning into this rebroadcast of the live Ojibwe Word of the Day. This is something I really enjoy doing. I usually do it on Thursday, but I'm incredibly happy to have a chance to do it on Friday night and just to say Buju and Miigwech to all of you. And tonight's word of the day is one that's very dear to me because it's one of our grandfather teachings. It's one of our sacred laws, the ᒪᓈ지쒻. And for me, it's been a personal ambition and a goal to talk about the 7 generations and the 7 grandfather teachings all over the world. I think that they show us how to how to lead a good life, and I think that the more people who learn about this in Manaaji'idiwin, in Ojibwe culture, the more personally enriched you become. The more you strive to lead a good life. And so tonight, this word is respect. Respect for each other. They respect one another. It's a reciprocal verb in Anishinaabe. That means they do it to each other. So Manaaji'idiwin means they respect each other. And we often translate it as respect. And if you look into that word, and I think it gives you a really keen insight into Anishinaabe philosophy and Anishinaabe spirituality. This idea of Manaaji'idiwin is different, I think, than maybe Euro-American society. I think in more contemporary society, respect is something that comes from maybe an authority figure, from someone who may have a different social position than you, or an institution as well that you are supposed to respect because you may get something from it or you have a sort of allegiance to it. In Anishinaabe, this is totally different. That word, Manaaji, really means to go easy on. To go easy on someone. And I'd like to go in depth with that a little bit. Really, to go easy on someone, that means to treat someone with great care, with great affection, with great concern. You act, very carefully around them, or it. You act in a way that wouldn't cause undue harm. So when you are talking about respect for each other, they go easy on one another. And one of the best ways to talk about that is it comes from relationship. It comes from our relationships to each other, this feeling of respect. And it doesn't come from observing authority. I think it comes from acknowledging the sanctity in someone else, acknowledging someone else's sacredness. And where this shows up in Anishinaabe society is our relationship to each other and our relationship to the land, our relationship to the four-legged, and our relationship to the fish and the birds, to the plants, and to the water. And so nowadays you'll see this show up in a number of different environments. One very famous example that's happening right here in Minnesota is at Manaaji'idiwin, the Mille Lacs Indian Reservation. The walleye in Lake Mille Lacs, Manaaji'idiwin literally means giant lake, big lake, have plummeted in the recent years. And there are a myriad of reasons for this. This could be overfishing. There's also, invasive species. There's pollution from motorboats going in, and just a number of different reasons. And so the Oga, the walleye populations, have dwindled in the past years. And Anishinaabes' response to that is, we are going to go easy on the lake. We want to shut down the lake for fishing. Because if we over-harvest, then we're not going easy. Then we're not showing respect to the walleye. And the walleye have respected us. They've gone very easy on us. That is Mille Lacs is a glacial lake. That means Oga, the walleye, and Ashigan, the bass, and a number of other fish have been feeding us, the Anishinaabe, for thousands and thousands of years. They've gone easy on us. They've taken pity on us because we've needed food, and they've fed us out of unconditional love, out of great care and concern, in treating us very well. So there's that reciprocal part. And in the time when walleye needs help, Anishinaabe goes easy on them. And it means we'll pause fishing. We'll pause commercial fishing and sport fishing until your numbers build up, and then we'll start fishing again. And this had remarkable success at ᒪᓈ지쒻이위사기기ning at the Red Lake Reservation, where years later, when their walleye numbers came up, then everyone is able to enjoy delicious Red Lake walleye, which is very good. It's fantastic. We also see this idea of Manaaji'idiwin coming with the pipelines and with the environment, and in particular with water. As human beings, we're made up of water. If you look at the salinity, the salt level in our blood, in our sweat, and our tears, it's the same as in the ocean. And we absolutely, and this is a fact, we absolutely need water to survive, and so do all of our relatives. And so when we're talking about respect, we're also saying that the generations who are coming, we want to respect them. We want to go easy on them. So we don't want to cause them any undue harm or stress if we build something thinking only of ourselves and there is a disaster of some kind, that there's a spill, that they'll end up cleaning up, that they'll end up taking care of, rather than having us not do that, us take good care of them, us to go easy on them, and also to go easy on all of the animals, to be careful and to have great care and concern with the environment, which is very fragile, the ecosystem, that we don't harm that. So this comes from this idea of Anishinaabe respect. And it's because we have great care, we have great concern. The environment has taken very good care of Anishinaabe. And in turn, we want to go easy on that. So, in a way, when you think about it, you think of what you have probably heard of about Anishinaabe people, take only what you need. And you have to think that, if I say, like on the plains, for example, that the buffalo, ᒪᓈ지쒻이위ᓐ, is feeding me, is giving me clothing, is giving me shelter in a bajishkogan, in a teepee, and is giving me a number of tools. Then you have to ask yourself, does Anishinaabe at this point go out and overharvest the buffalo? Do they go out and kill them almost to the point of extinction? And it's like, absolutely not. You take only what you need because you're going easy on these relatives who have taken very great care of you. And you can call them relatives because it doesn't have to be just someone you're related to by blood. It can become someone or something you have relationship with. All of a sudden they become a relative. And then if you do follow the sacred law, then you are obliged to respect them, to look after them with great care, with great affection, with love, with tenderness, and with compassion. And then in closing, that goes for Anishinaabe too. And on a personal note, I want to say to any of the women who have said, or have used the hashtag #MeToo, that your sanctity, that your sacredness has not been acknowledged if you have been through that experience. And that nowhere in our teachings at all, in any of our spiritual customs, in any of our ethics, in any of our sacred law, any of our philosophy, is that behavior ever excused. So, on a personal note, I'm sorry you have been through that, and that if we can begin talking about respect, that means that men must respect women then. That men have to acknowledge and appreciate the sanctity that is in Ikwe, in women. So, mi yu wa kidoyan nongom. So that's all I'm going to say tonight. I want to say Apajigo Miigwech Bisentawik. Thank you all so much for listening and tuning in again to this live Ojibwe Word of the Day. Again, if you know someone who is interested in Anishinaabe philosophy, in our ethics, in our spirituality, in our linguistics, in our language, in our culture, please feel free to share and like this video. Aho. Mi'uwakedoyan nongom. That's all I'll say tonight. Dagasana and Guamasik. Please all of you do take care. Banama minawa de samadamang gigawabandamin. And the spirits will decide when we see each other again. Meet you.